seekers of a calm soul. Welcome. Are emotions controlling your life? Do you often get frustrated or angry over small events? If so, this video is for you. Learn 3 powerful ways from Stoic philosophy that will turn your emotions into your best friends, not your enemies. Want to become calmer, stronger? Then, keep watching. Number 1. Observe emotions, don't judge them. Discovering yourself the Stoic way. We often get swept up in a flood of emotions when anger, frustration, or joy take over our brains. Stoic philosophy teaches us that it is unwise to suppress emotions or be driven by them. Instead, our job is to watch emotions like a neutral observer, as if they were a scene in a movie. Stoics believe that emotions are an integral part of us, but we are not slaves to them. The ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not what we feel that controls us, but how we respond to them that does." This means that when a wave of anger comes, we can pause for a moment without immediately reacting by shouting or becoming aggressive. Imagine your boss has insulted you in public. Your first reaction might be intense anger and a desire to fight back. But what would a Stoic do in this moment? He would see his anger as an external event. He would think, "I am feeling angry in my body, my hands are shaking, my face is turning red. This is just an emotion, not my being." There are many examples of this in real life. Let's say you have had an argument with your partner. You are feeling intense resentment and sadness. If you see this emotion as your being at this moment, you might make an extreme decision to break off the relationship. But if you simply observe the emotion, you will realize that it is just a fleeting feeling. You let the flow of this emotion grow, but you do not get carried away by it. Just as you watch the current of a river, but do not drift with it. The Stoics believe that judging an emotion is actually making it stronger. When we think, "I shouldn't be angry," or "I shouldn't be sad," we are actually fighting the emotion, which ultimately exhausts us. Instead, when we say, "I'm angry, it's a normal feeling," we allow the emotion to run its course and its power gradually diminishes. Through this silent observation and reflection, we can go deeper into our inner world. From this point, we learned how important it is to calm ourselves down and self-reflect in the beginning. It helps us to get out of the emotional rut and create a clearer perspective. Do you take time for your long silences and reflections? Is there an incident in your life where you were able to respond differently by observing your emotion? Share your experience in the comments. Before we move on to our next point, let's remember that observing your emotion is just the beginning. Then we need to understand which things are under our control and which are not, which is the topic of our next discussion. Number 2, focus on your control, the Stoic path to freedom. After observing emotions, the second and perhaps most important pillar of Stoic philosophy is to make a clear distinction between what is in our control and what is not. This is a fundamental teaching of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who emphasized that the source of most of our suffering is worry about things that are beyond our control. The things we can control are our judgments, our reactions, our decisions, and our actions. What we cannot control are the opinions of others, external events, the weather, or the automatic reactions of our bodies. Let me illustrate this with a story. A Stoic farmer worked tirelessly to ensure a good harvest for his crops. He plowed the land, sowed seeds, weeded, and watered regularly. But one day, a heavy rain destroyed all his crops. The farmer was momentarily disheartened, but he quickly pulled himself together. He knew that the rain was beyond his control, but his hard work and determination to try again the next day kept him in control. Instead of lamenting his loss, he began to plan a new beginning. This story teaches us that life's adversities will come, but how we respond to them is entirely in our hands. In modern life, we often get too caught up in the comments on social media or the reactions of others in office politics. Someone commented negatively on your post, and you may sit there upset all day. What would a Stoic do in this situation? He would understand that the comments of others are beyond his control. He might check the quality of his own post, but he would not worry about the other person's attitude, because the other person's thoughts or behavior are not in his hands. Focusing on what we can control does not mean that we will not be empathetic to others or indifferent to the outside world. It means that we will not spend our mental energy on things that we have no power to change. When we worry about things that are beyond our control, we actually destroy our own peace of mind. It is like you are knocking on a door that cannot be opened. For example, major events like economic downturns or natural disasters are not within our control. But how we protect ourselves, how we find new ways, and how we maintain our emotional stability in these situations is within our control. From this point, we learn that to maintain our own peace of mind, we must know what is within our control and what is not. And we must devote our energy and attention accordingly. Have you ever been anxious about something that was actually beyond your control? If you had followed the Stoic principle at that time, how would you have reacted? Share your experience in the comments. In our next step, we will look at how we can use reason to face emotional challenges and turn them into friends. Number 3. Practice with reason. The final step to turning emotions into friends. After focusing on observing and controlling emotions, the final step of Stoic philosophy is to use reason as our main tool. The Stoics believe that humans are rational beings, and that reason is what gives us the ability to control our emotional nature. When emotions run high, they overwhelm our judgment, and we make decisions that we later regret. The practice of reason teaches us to step out of this overwhelming flow of emotions and analyze the situation objectively. Stoic emperors like Marcus Aurelius ask themselves every day, what is the reality of this moment? Am I making decisions based on emotion? What could be the long-term impact of this decision? Such self-questioning allows us to rationalize our emotions. Suppose your favorite team has lost a game, and you are feeling intense disappointment and anger. At this point, a rational person would say to themselves, this is just a game. My anger or frustration won't change the outcome of the game. Am I going to let this emotion ruin the rest of my day? These questions will free you from the immediate emotional response. A classic example is a mousetrap. When a mouse falls into a trap, it panics and starts running away. The more it runs away, the more trapped it becomes. When humans are also trapped by emotions, they react blindly instead of rationally, which makes the situation worse. Using reason helps us to analyze the situation with a cool head, rather than running away like this mouse. We ask ourselves, what is the best course of action in this situation? Am I acting on the basis of accurate information, or am I just relying on my feelings? Practicing rationality means not denying emotions, but understanding them better and channeling their energy in a positive direction. For example, if you fail at a project and feel frustrated, logic will tell you, this failure is a learning opportunity. Where did I go wrong and how can I avoid it in the future? This is a Stoic way of transforming the emotion of frustration into constructive learning. From this point, we learn that logic is an essential tool for controlling our emotions and turning them into friends. Logic helps us to think deeply and make more informed decisions instead of reacting quickly. Has there been a time in your life when you made an emotional decision that you later regretted? How do you think logic could have handled that situation differently? Share your experience in the comments. These 3 key principles of observing emotions, focusing on control, and practicing logic, work together to help us turn our emotions from enemies into true friends. Today we saw how emotions, which often seem like our enemies, can be turned into friends through Stoic philosophy. We learned to see emotions as a neutral observer, not allowing them to cloud our judgment. We then looked at how to focus on our own reactions and decisions rather than worrying about things beyond our control. And finally, how to use reason to control our emotions and make more informed decisions. Remember, these exercises are not a one-day exercise, but a lifelong journey. Your inner peace does not depend on anything beyond your control. It depends on your own judgment and reactions. Your mind is your greatest asset, illuminated with the light of reason. Join us on this Stoic journey of wisdom. If this discussion has inspired your soul, show your support by giving it a like. Share your favorite Stoic practice in the comments and share the video with your friends to spread this knowledge to others. Be a part of this ongoing journey of Stoic philosophy by subscribing to our channel to gain deeper wisdom and mental fortitude. Remember, true power lies in your inner peace.